Hello and hearty welcome everyone. I am Vinaya, product marketer for Zoho Campaign and your host for today. I'll be talking about how you can target and engage with your subscribers by building an organic email list from scratch. So before we go ahead, I want to ensure whether the audio and the video is clear. If you have any issues with the communication, then please feel free to let us know so that we can sort it out soon. Also, in case if you have any questions during the section, then please feel free to ask it out using the question tab, which is at the top left corner of your screen. My team and I are looking forward to all the questions. At this time, I would like to mention that we will also have a dedicated Q&A section at the end of this webinar to answer all of your queries. So let's begin. So like I mentioned before, that we'll be talking about how to target and engage your audience and how to build an email list, right? So our aim today is to build an email list, learn how to build an email list from scratch. So for this, we'll be taking up an example, say a demo example of Zilkal Wellness Limited. So see, I'm the marketer, I'm the email marketer for Zilkal Wellness Limited, right? So I'll be sharing how I built my email list for Zilkal Wellness Limited, and I'll be explaining each and every process in detail. I'll be explaining and I'll be taking you through each and every process in each and every step that I undertook to build an email list from scratch for Zilka. So with that note, let's begin. And also, since Zilka Wellness Limited, they are a big believer of quality food, right? So they believe that quality food provides nourishment to body, and quality email list provides nourishment to your email campaign, right? So they believe that an email list or subscribers in the email list, the entire email list is the fooder for email campaign. It is the powerhouse for your entire email campaign. So the quality of your email campaign depends on email list. So they believe that, so with they believe that their entire the entire base of an email campaign is email list. So let's with this quote, let's begin our webinar with a positive note that we'll know how to build an organic email list, how to build a quality email list. More than quantity, the quality matters. So let's take this as a positive note and begin our webinar. So let's take up any goal in our lives. Let's say you want to build a body, or let's say you want to travel the world, or let's say you want to become a public speaker, or you want to become a billionaire, or you want your business to be top 10 in top 10. So there are multiple goals in our life, right? So if all those goals can be reached by taking some steps, small steps that will make you reach that particular goal of yours. So that's the same case with email list as well. So your aim to construct or to build an email list, organic email list, can be achieved by following few small steps. So the entire steps can be broken down into 4 steps. So I have presented those steps here. So the first one is who. So we have to identify who is your target audience. So when you take up audience, like say example of audience, there are multiple audience out there, right? So there's an audience for wellness. There is an audience for taste, like junk food. Also, there is an audience for fashion. There's an audience for technology. There's an audience for email marketing, which are us. So there are multiple audience out there. So let's say in case of Zilka Wellness, they have to identify their kind of audience. They have to first identify who is their audience, right? So that is the first step. So when you're done with the first step, they'll be moving on to the next step, which is how to build my email list with quality subscribers. So after identifying the audience, the next step is to pick and build the email list with the help of quality subscribers. So the quality subscribers can be built when you identify quality audience, right? So this step depends on the previous step. So entire process here actually depends on on the previous steps you have taken. So make sure when you're taking this step, every step, and make give your 100% with each of the steps that we'll be following throughout the journey of email list building. So when it comes to email building with quality subscribers, ensure that you have identified a quality audience. So with that help of with the help of that research, you can build a quality email list. So next one is to improve, which is to further customize your email list based on your business needs and how you want to personally engage with the audience. So here we will understand that each of our subscribers are very different in nature. So one subscribers, they are totally different from other subscribers, right? So we will know how to customize our list based on the difference between one subscribers and the other. So this will actually help us to further send email campaign to them personally instead of just sending out a single email campaign to the entire list. We will personalize and send it to each and every subscriber. And the next process is to retain the quality of your email list. Now you know, now after understanding how to build your email list, how to improvise your email list, you have to ensure that all the hard works you have taken to build that email list should be retained, right? So you will here in this part you will understand how to retain that particular quality of your email list. So that's the last and the most important step, which is to retain the efforts that we are going to take now, right? So with this clear objective, with this clear steps, understanding of the each and every step, we will begin our webinar by taking the first step, which is to identify your target audience. So to identify your target audience, you have to define a clear objective for your business. So every one of you here will have a business objective, right? So everyone's business objective will be different from each other. So here the objective of Zilker is to build a community of like-minded people and help them achieve their health and fitness goals. So that is their objective. So this will not be same as your business objective. So you have to take some time and understand what is your business objective. Obviously, you would have started your business with a clear objective, right? So go back to that objective. Go back to that particular objective and list it down. Write it down in a clear of paper if required. So it will actually help you to reflect and go back and understand why did you begin everything. So when you go back to the objective, when you go back to the scratch, it will actually help you build an email list which is very good quality and which has very good base. So go back and understand and write it down and reflect the business objective with which you started your business. So now after this step, the next step is to identify audience with similar goals. So here in case of Zilka Wellness Limited, their objective was to build a community of like-minded people. So like-minded people are those who have similar health and fitness goals, right? So the aim of Zilka was to match their business objective with the goals of people. So let's take the current example. So my objective was to share email list building process with the people who are actually interested in it. So I was figuring out or trying to find out my kind of audience. So for that I started a webinar, and here I found you. So all of you here, each and every one of you here have a goal which have a common goal. To be specific, all of you here have a common goal, which is to build an email list from scratch, which is to build an organic email list from scratch, right? That is your common goal here. So I found my prospective audience, which is every one of you here, because my objective is actually matching your goal of the list building. So that's how I found you. That's how I found my prospective audience. Similarly, you have to identify your audience with similar goals or similar objective as yours. So there are multiple virtual platforms to identify your prospective audience, say social media platforms such as Facebook or YouTube, or forums such as Quora, or social news aggregator platforms such as Reddit, or virtual meetups, which is the webinars. Virtual meetups are very famous nowadays. So that's another place, and e-learning platforms. So these are the few examples of where you can actually go and identify your prospective audience. So when you identify your prospective audience, you have to further then see where they are spending their most of their time. So you have multiple virtual platforms out there, right? But you have to pick one or two platforms alone and see where they are spending most of their time at. So you can't just target all of these platforms, right? Because that will be a multitasking, that will be may cause confusion to you. So you will not be able to clearly target your audience. So the objective of this webinar is to learn how to target your audience effectively, right? So to target your audience, you have to, you know, uh, be specific about your target. So you can't have multiple, focus. So you have to have a clear one or two focuses. So you have to pick up one or two platforms where your prospective audience is spending their most of their time at. So when Zilka Wellness Limited, when they started to research and identify where their prospective audience, where they are spending their most of the time at, they found out that most of the audience, they spend their time in website, in webinars, and in social media platforms. So these three are their major core focus area, and they will build their email list by depending on these three platforms. One is website, one is webinar, and one is social media platform. So now think and ask yourself, which is the most used virtual platform by your prospective audience? Do your research, identify at least one or two, maximum three, just keep it at three, and identify your virtual platform and see where there's those platform where your prospective audience is spending their most of their time at. So the platform actually varies business to business. It actually varies based on your business objective and the goals of your audience. So do your research. Just because one business they are targeting social media does not mean that you also have to target social media. So it depends on your business objective. So do your research and identify which is the most used virtual platform by your audience. So when you're done with this step, you can easily move on to the next step, which is to analyze your prospective audience. So analyzation process is one of the most important thing to uh, segment your list. So only when you analyze your prospective audience, the segmentation process becomes very easier. The customization of list process becomes very easier. So there are multiple tools to analyze your prospective audience. So you can actually do a keyword research, or you can, with the help of keyword research, you can know which type of keywords your audience is using, or you can do a social media insights. So if you are a business who has who maintains a social media handle, you can actually go back to the social media insights. You can actually bring out a report. With the reports made created by those social media platforms will actually reflect the demography of your audience. It will reflect the age, their gender, all these information, basic information can be found out using social media insights. And other ways to to conduct a survey. So survey is a very personalized way of analyzing the prospective audience. So because here you can actually frame your own questions. So let's say if you want to understand a particular thing about your audience. So for that you can frame a question and you can ask the same to your audience. So with their answer, you'll be able to understand their likes and dislikes and everything inside and out about your audience. So that's how you analyze your prospective audience. And next one is review platforms. So in review platforms, you can actually go and check out that there, you can just take an example of any random product, and if you go and see the reviews made for that particular product, you can see customers giving some customers, they give a good review, some give bad reviews. Not bad reviews, I would say good. And every one of them, they actually provide a feedback about that particular product or services. So those feedback would actually help you understand the nature of your audience. Like you can able to understand what they like and what they don't like. So the reviews are a very important in that aspect. It will actually it is actually a free resource to understand your audience. So do a review research. So these are the various ways you can analyze your prospective audience. So when it comes to Zilka Wellness Limited, they also use all these virtual tools to identify, to analyze their prospective audience, and they found out that about the age, most of them are from 25 to 40 years. And when it comes to gender, most of them were female. And these things, these data were revealed through making use of all these tools. So they went to social media insights to find out which is the maximum gender that which is the maximum gender that is engaging with me, and which age group they belong to. And this food choice was found out through survey. Geographical area was also found out by social media insights. Workout choice was found out through survey. So they use multiple virtual tools to analyze their prospective audience. So you can also do this and make a clear report, which will actually help you in segmenting your email list. So now ask yourself, what does your audience analysis report convey? So make your own research, do your own research, and make your own report, and move on to the next step, which is so before we move on to the next step, let's reflect the first step, which is identifying your audience. So good understanding about your prospective audience will act as a strong base to build a quality email list. So good understanding equal to good quality email list, and a good quality email list is always equal to a very good email marketing output. So understanding your audience is the key here. This is the first and major step. And once you clear out this step, the next process becomes rather very, very easy, I would say. So just start to understand your audience, start to identify and target and segment everything. Just make a report. That report will help you in the next coming up processes. So with this code, let's just remember this the mission, which is to understand your audience, and let's move on to the next step, which is to provide value to obtain the trust of your audience. So here in this step, our main objective is to know how to build email list with quality subscribers, right? So the first and the very most important step to build an quality, attract quality subscribers is to provide a quality value. So only when you provide something, something free of cost to your prospective audience, then they will give a value in return. So value in return here means their trust. Their trust is in disguised, it's disguised as their email ID. So they can't just go and share their email IDs to everyone, right? They can only share their email IDs to those businesses they trust. So how can they trust you? Only when you provide some value to them, they can trust you with their personal information, which is their email IDs, right? So you have to provide a value to obtain their trust. So here in this case, provide valuable provide a value. So the process of providing value to your audience is known as lead magnet ideas. So lead magnet method. So there are multiple lead magnet ideas to grow your email list. The first one is to create and share downloadables. So when a person submits a form, share a downloadable with them. So downloadables examples can be ebook or checklist or anything, whichever thing which suits your business needs. The next one is to conduct webinars or events upon registration. So organize and conduct a webinar, provide, share knowledge or share ideas with them. So in return, they can actually share their email IDs, which is share their trust in disguise. So conduct a webinar or say give away product or services. So you would have seen multiple businesses, they actually share the product or services for free, for trial period to those customers who actually have good engagement with them. So in return to their good engagement, they give back their product or services. So you can actually do that if you own an active social media handle. So these are the ways you can attract your audiences and build your email list. So when it comes to Zilka Limited, they gave away 1 month's healthy vegetarian recipe to improve the immunity upon form submission. So they create a July's vegetarian recipe, and they created a downloadable, and the downloadable is ready. After that, they created a form with the help of Zoho Campaign, and they embedded the form in their website. And once the person enters the details, the required details, which is the name or email ID, and when they sign up, they will automatically enter the email list, the Zilka's wellness email list, and once they enter the Zilka's wellness email list, the the next email marketing activity automatically takes place. So the first email marketing activity is to send them a downloadable. So once they download the email, download the particular ebook, or here in this case of recipe, and then after they download the particular recipe, you can send up a follow-up email, checking out with them about how their recipe is doing. Say you can follow up with them weekly about how, how valuable was their downloadable. This follow up will actually further build their trust, and you can just slowly send, create your email communication with them. So that's how you, embed you make use of a form. So let's go inside the campaign, Zoho campaign, and see how to uh, build, form a list. So when you go to contact section, and when you go to first step is to manage, first step is to go to manage list and to create a list. So once you have collected the data from the form submission, you have to store those data somewhere, right? So data here means email, email addresses. So you have to store those email addresses somewhere, right? So list is a place where you store your email address. So let's give a name here. So here the data are coming from website. So website of Wilker Wellness Limited. Provide a topic, say uh, now tell your contacts how you know them. So in this case, be polite, also be specific, and also give a sentence which is, proving enough your point. It's provable. So always ensure that it is specific, it is polite, and it is provable. So I'll give you an example how to write such description. So let's say you are receiving this email because you opted in for it when you downloaded one of our monthly recipe. So it is it's polite, and it is being specific, and it's also giving a provable description. So yeah, so this is how you provide a description of with the help of which the receiver will understand how they enter your email list. So let's click on create, and your email list is ready. Now here we have four options through which you can actually build your email list. So here in our example, we will use a form, and the first step here is to name your form. So let's name our form, say as website recipe form. So yeah, I have now named your form. Now let's choose a template. So there are multiple options of templates, ready-made templates you can pick and go from. There's a compact form, there's a banner form, there's a long forms, or so I'm going to choose a pop-up form, standard pop-up. Okay, so let's use this template. Here you can actually design your, customize your own form, whichever form which suits you. You can change the colors, you can change the text here. So let's say I don't want this image. I'll delete it. I'll add a new image from library. So let's pick this image. Let's add it. Let's position it properly. Yeah. And let's change the text here. So let's say grab your July vegetarian recipe and begin your journey towards healthier life. Right? So you have changed your message. You can also change the color. You can change the font. So you can do all those editing work. And also you can change the input field. You can customize the input field. You can change the CTA, all those things. Also, you can actually change the overlays color. So I want to keep, say, orange, and also want to reduce the opacity. So I want to keep it transparent. So yeah. So this is how I customized my form. Also, you can set up, provide, you can actually customize how you want the particular form to enter the website, right? Do you want it to enter it, do you want the pop-up to pop up immediately, or do you want it to appear when the reader is about to exit the page, or do you want when the when the reader has finished 5% of the page? So let's say in my case, I want this pop-up to appear after they complete 5% of the page. So I want to position it at center. I want to animate it, say bouncing, or and I don't want to keep any limit here. And so when I don't keep a limit, this pop-up form, when they close this pop-up form, it will not appear again. Okay, it will only appear when they visit my page the next time. Also, I want this particular pop-up to appear when they have completed 5% of the page. So this is how my pop-up will appear. I can actually preview it and see how it appears in a personal computer. So this is how it will appear in a personal computer, and I want to see how it appears in a mobile version. So this is how it will appear in a mobile, right? So I have previewed it, and I'll save. So my pop-up form is ready, and I can edit my response here again. So response here, actually it's already, the double opt-in is already provided. It's already switched on, but it's always preferable to provide a double opt-in, because one, it's always a taking confirmation from your subscriber twice is always recommended to attract quality subscribers. So when you get double confirmation from your subscribers, you'll be actually attracting subscribers who have double trust on you. So when they have double trust on you, you are actually attracting quality subscribers. So always, so in this webinar, our aim is to build a quality email list, right? So to build a quality email list, we have to attract quality subscribers. So to attract quality subscribers, it all goes down to have attracting subscribers who have double trust on you. So this double opt-in actually helps in building that trust. So I have enabled double opt-in, and now all I have to do is get the code of the form. So when you click on get code, you can copy the code, and it will be copied to your clipboard. Okay, it will be copied to your clipboard, and you can go to your website and paste it. Paste it in a page, embed the code in the page, whichever page you want the pop-up to appear, and the rest of the job will be taken care by the pop-up form. It'll appear, and it'll attract the prospective audience and help you in building your email list. So that's how you use form to build your email list. The next thing is, now let's we discussed about multiple platforms through which you can attract your audience, right? So your audiences your audience are residing in these multiple platforms, and you can't go to each and every platform to pick up their data, right? So you have so what you can do is you can sync your data to email campaign. So let's say in case of now we have discussed it earlier that for Zilka Wellness Limited, webinar was a key platform through which they wanted to attract they attracted their prospective subscribers and build their email list. So for that, what they did is they conducted a virtual event to provide a platform for registrants who registered using Eventbrite to discuss and engage with health experts. So whoever subscribe, whoever registers to this particular event through Eventbrite, they'll be sharing their data in Eventbrite, right? So all those data will be synced to Zoho Campaign. So when the data is synced through Zoho Campaign, you can start building your email list from those data. So your job becomes easier. You don't have to jump between Eventbrite and your email marketing software. So you can automatically sync the data from multiple platforms. So when it comes to Eventbrite, there are three options, which is instant registrant. Sorry. So one is instant registrant, one is instant attendees, and one time sync. So you can choose whichever type of sync you want and go ahead with it. And apart from Eventbrite, we have other sync services. So when you go to contacts and when you go to sync services, you can see multiple other services available here. So one is Zoho CRM, we have Zoho Meeting, we have Zoho Recruit, we have Zoho Creator, or Zendesk, we have Eventbrite here, and we have Office 365, PayPal, Sugar CRM, Salesforce, and multiple other sync services. So you can always sync the data from all these platforms and start building your email list in Zoho Campaign. So now you have built your email list. Now the next step is to further customize my list for a personalized engagement. So the first step to customize my email list is to segment my email list. Now, like I said before, all those subscribers in your email list, they are all not similar in nature, right? Because each and every subscriber, they will differ from each other. But so the first step is to we can't just go, we have multiple bulk amount of subscribers in your email list. You just can't pick up one subscriber at a time and analyze them, right? So what you can do, the first step you can do is to segment them into multiple um, lists. So based on their common likes. So everybody will have a common likes and similarities, right? So similarities based on geographical area, or similarities based on gender, or similarities based on taste and preferences. So you can segment your list, and then you can further, uh, go down and filter it down and differentiate one subscribers from another. So let's say I have a primary email list, and I want to segment it. So I'll segment it based on gender, say female and male. Now again, I will go to the female segment, and I will further differentiate one female subscriber from another, because just because they are of common gender doesn't mean that they have common tastes and preferences, right? Because we all are humans here, right? Just because we all are here to build email lists doesn't mean that we all have same taste regarding food, or when it comes to some other fashion ideas. We don't have same taste here, right? We have all of you here have personal different tastes, but we have a common objective. So, but then I have to differentiate one subscriber from another. So that's when tags and scores help. So let's go to inside our campaign, and let's go to contacts, and let's go to our list section, and let's segment a list. Let's pick up this list, and let's segment it Let's create a segment. So I want to segment, say, or say, I want to name a segment email. I want to segment my entire list separately based on the number of females who are the number of based on number of females I have in my list. So because my major focus audience is female, so I'll segment them separately. So let's say gender is female. So So automatically, all those email lists who are female will be segmented into this list. So how to identify whether they are female or not? That will be a question, right? So that question can be answered when you have done a good research. So when you have done a good research, you can actually identify the gender of your subscriber, right? So that those and when you have done a good research, you get a good data about them, and you can actually store those data. So when you're creating the list and you're adding contacts to the list, you can actually add their gender as well. So when you know the, the segmentation totally depends on the data that you have provided when you're creating your list. So add those data which I will actually help you in segmenting better, help you in better segmentation. So say you want to segment your list based on vegetarian or non-vegetarian. So again, you should have entered those particular data, whether they are vegetarian or non-vegetarian, right? So when you have entered those data, the segmentation process becomes easier. So how do you identify those data? Again, it goes back. If everything goes back to your research, goes back to the research you have done. So when you have done a good research, you're like I have said previously, when you have done a good research, your segmentation process becomes very very easier. So when you have segmented your contacts, the next step is to differentiate one subscriber from another. So to do that, you can go to contact tag. So I already have a tag known as vegetarian. Now I want to create another tag, say vegetarian. So whichever subscriber who prefers non-veg food will be categorized under this tag. So, and again, I want to target my female subscribers. Female that segment which was segmented separately for female subscribers. So female subscribers who prefer non-vegetarian. You can also choose a tag, color, and create your tag. So once when you have successfully created your tag, you can assign those tags to your existing contacts or to your new contacts, or you can actually import the contacts and assign the tags to them. So this is how you differentiate one subscriber to another. Another way to identify, oh, wait one second, contact scoring. So another way to differentiate contacts based on their activity. Just because you have segmented all your females, now that doesn't mean that they have all those females in that particular segment. Doesn't mean that they have similar interest with your email marketing campaign. So once one person will be actually interested to open your emails every day, and one person will not be interested to be part of your email list itself. So based on their actions, you can provide a score, and the total of the score will actually help you in understanding understand at which point of sales funnel they are in. So a good active subscriber will have a good score, and again, you can further customize your score and depending on your business needs, and help actually analyze your subscribers action, and then take a required step and required email campaign that can be sent to them based on their scores. And this is how you uh, you know differentiate one subscriber from another based on their scores. So that's what that was all about customizing your email list. Now you have done all the processes. Now you have to understand how to retain the quality of your email list. So for any relationship, it doesn't have to be concerned with email marketing. Just take up any relationship in our life. It everything goes down to communication, right? We have to maintain any relationship. We have to have a consistent communication with the other person. So it's the same case with your business to business. It's the same case with your business partners, and it's also the same case with your subscribers. So only when you have a consistent communication with your subscribers, they will have the trust. They'll be able to hold the trust that they have actually started their journey with you. You have to maintain consistent communication with them. So the consistent communication and personalized communication can be maintained using workflow. So all you have to do is drag, drop, and design your and consistently send a series of automated email campaigns with workflows. So when you go to camping and when you go to automation and when you go to workflows, when you go to create workflow, you can actually see multiple templates here, right? So all of these templates, when they're activate, when each of this activity, each of these elements is triggered, and when each of these workflow is activated, once you activate any of the template, it will automatically take care of that particular objective. So let's say when we go to welcome and onboarding, when you pick up this particular uh, workflow, it will help you in following up with your subscribers. Okay, so that is the objective of this automated. So once you activate this particular workflow, it will take care of this particular objective. So you pick up your kind of template with the kind of objective that you have. So if you want to nurture your subscribers, you can go to nurture series and pick up the workflow which will actually help you. Also, if none of the templates match, you can actually go and customize your own workflow. So this is how you maintain consistent communication with your subscribers. And next step is the most important, which is following some of the email marketing best practices. So which is the first one is to keep your doors always open. Keep your doors always open for the subscribers to enter as they wish and leave as they wish. So provide double opt-in. That will actually help in building double trust upon you. And provide unsubscribe button in the footer of your email. So when you provide an unsubscribe button, they will actually choose to opt out when they feel right. So and when you are very transparent with your subscribers, it will actually help in building their trust upon you. So keep your doors always open. Be transparent about your communication with them. That's the first step. And the next step is to invest your time and effort in building an organic email list instead of investing your money in purchasing a ready-made list. So follow all these steps to build an organic email list from scratch. I know it will take some time. I know it will require a lot of time to do the research and analyze your customers, but it's worth the effort. Right? Anything organic stays a lot of time. It stays for a long period of time. So invest your effort and time in building an organic list, and also do a routine list maintenance checkup. So do a monthly checkup of your email list or a weekly check, and check out those subscribers who are who are engaging very less with you, and think about decide whether you have to remove them or not, and maintain the quality of email list by keeping it with active subscribers. So ensure that your all the subscribers in your email list are very active in nature. So maintain your email list. So that's how you retain the quality of your email list. So let's have a wrap up. So the first thing is we focused on understanding who is my target audience, right? So for that, we we understood that we have to do a research and create a detailed report about our prospective audience. That was the first step. The next one was to build my email with quality subscribers. So to do that, we actually understood that to obtain the value, we have to provide a value. So to obtain a value here in main marketing sense means to obtain their trust. And the trust, the email address that they provide to us is their trust that they are giving it to us. So they won't be giving their email address to any business, right? They will be sharing their email address to only those business which they actually trust. So to to attract that trust, you have to provide a value. And the next step is to further customize my email list for a personalized engagement. And for that, we discussed that we have to focus on segmenting them, and we focused on how to differentiate one subscriber from another by using tags and scores. And this will actually, when we are able to differentiate one subscriber from another, we'll be able to send a personalized email campaign to them in future. Again, the segmentation process totally depends on what kind of research that you did in the first step. So all these steps are actually dependent upon each other. So only when you actually build and improvise your email list, you will be reaching to the next step, which is to retaining your quality email list. So only when you build the quality email list, you'll be able to go to the next step, which is retaining. So the quality of your email list can be maintained by having a consistent communication and following some of the best practices, email marketing best practices. So we understood that each of these steps are very dependent upon each other, right? So second step cannot be done by first. So ensure that when you are in step one, focus on the step one and complete it. And I will strongly recommend the first step of doing the research of understanding your prospective audience. So follow all these steps, break down the steps and follow each and every step and build your email list seamlessly easy. So thank you everyone. Stay well, and if you have any queries, you can mail me at vinya.m@zohocorp.com, or you can mail our support team at support@zohocampaigns.com. Thank you. Stay well.